Yep, as we head into game number 5 now, with 2 games left to go, $10,000 on the line. You have to show up here, and honestly, like a team like CLG, I want to see if they can turn it around. The last 3 games have not been going well for them whatsoever, and we'll see if they can really carry back that momentum from game number 1 back into the final 2 games of the night. But here we go, beautiful view over World's Edge as we're seeing all our squads dropping in.
This is what we're looking for right now, is sort of the who's dropping hot and who, most importantly, is getting zone right now. Pop-Tarts, they seem like they're in a pretty comfortable spot, and they've been performing rather well recently, so this could actually be their game. Just looting up slowly right now, but they do have that rotation into Fragment should they choose to take it. And it seems like that's the direction that they're heading in. Not looking for early blood, of course, but to get a sense of where they are and where they, most importantly, will need to be as that next ring does close.
Does look like we might have a thermal ending here. This could go over towards tree. We'll find out in just a moment. We can see just the edges of the second zone there as Impulsive Dream was able to pick up that beacon for us. Actually, this one should be tree. Yeah, so it does pull down to the southwest. Nice. Could be going on over towards Sorting Factory. And so a team like RNG, I mean, they've been pretty much slow on the uptake, and they've been really slow in basically the early game, mid games, and they waited out to really get the placements and are very opportunistic in their play. So this is going to work out well for them as they do drop down over there by tree. We'll see, though, if they get challenged like they did in game number 1 by G2. Maybe even It's Timmy shows up, but now we're on board with PK. The Pittsburg Knights, is their loot not looking too great, especially dropping over here at Sorting Factory. Triple white armors is definitely not what you want to see coming out from Sorting Factory.
And remember that the Knights, they haven't been one of the teams that likes to hole up there. They haven't been like Renegades that sort of want to play more passive until the later stages of the game. The Knights are definitely somebody who wants to take the fight to you. And now, being in the center of the ring is going to challenge them and force them to switch up their play style completely, just to try and stay competitive in terms of the points. Already pushing out of Sorting Factory, trying to find a fight, or at least some sort of a different angle right now. Seems like they've at least spotted one squad, but push is going to be difficult out of here. The only way to gap close is on that zip line.
Yeah, they've got that southwest side of Sorting Factory. This office building is incredibly powerful, especially for a squad that's sitting on white armors. You have great vantage point all around you. You should be able to keep tracks and keep tabs of a lot of teams. With Bronzy holding on to this G7 Scout, he's going to be the main person to try and get these Evo shields up to blues and purples for his team. Eventually might swap off with Mercy to play it a little bit more safe if their overall resources are running a little bit low. Mercy is keeping an eye on the teams on the south there. That should be Team Timmy coming out from launch site.
And with Team Timmy pushing in on you, you really do want to get set up here. It doesn't seem like Pittsburg Knights are too worried about it just yet, but I'd keep my eye on them because Team Timmy is a team that is built on outplay and on very quickly deleting somebody, and there's not a whole lot of attention being paid to the threat right now. It's like you say, they're making their way through that Sorting Factory now, finally feeling some shots. The Pittsburg Knights still going to hold this area. A good spot for the moment, but definitely one that can be pinched. I want to take a look at some of the teams that are outside of the circle, however, that do need to work their way in. We kind of the era at Harvester, and they're pretty comfortable right now. With Stooney having just the blue shield, but definitely lots of loot at their disposal and relatively uncontested for now. NRG, though, they do not know the word uncontested.
Yeah, a lot of teams in the area, though, they have to be careful at any point. Pittsburg Knights can come in for the third party, especially with how close they are. Woo, Rocker somehow does survive throughout all of that. And you even see on the kill feed, Lazarus getting to a fight with TSM, not the defensive department. That's going to be the Valkyrie tactical coming out here, as I believe Reps was finished off, and we'll see if TSM can recover. They were a little bit late on this rotate here. TSM typically move a lot sooner than this on a ring like this, and so I'm surprised that they actually got caught out here by Lazarus with his zone just now closing. Typically, it was maybe a minute before this where they would have already been through here and into Sorting Factory. So TSM not playing like their usual selves. I mean, that I think really is an understatement, especially starting off in game number 1.
Yeah, and part of that, or at least now, I can sort of attribute to the fact that the day hasn't been going too well for this squad, and trying to shift up that play style may just be an attempt at trying to solve the problem, right? What is going on with us? Why aren't we able to close out on a lot of these games or even mid-game fights right now? And definitely changing things up has bitten them a little bit here, although they can still get that number back up. Well, CLG, they've at least got a spot for themselves, got some nice loot, and are feeling a lot more comfortable, even with their early placement, sort of holding them down in terms of points.
Yeah, they're going to be playing on the north side of the zone right now, up in Harvester, and this can be a bit tricky. Oh, no. Imperial Hal, OTM. Don't know how that happened. They were smack dab in the middle of the zone. What?
I can't
is
tell
going
you.
on?
I can't tell you that one is a change in play style. That one is just questionable straight up. Team Pringles, though, very happy to pick up Snipe Down, wipe out TSM early, and that's the end of that story, really, because the placements have not been high, and at the moment, struggling for points. Doesn't get any better this game.
Yeah, Team Pringles now sitting on triple blues there, as the round 1 is still closing. TSM, the first squad out, 19 teams remaining, so really their chances for a top 3 finish basically gone unless they somehow hit a 40-point game in the final game of the evening. But now, as we have our teams moving through, I'm wondering where Cloud9 are throughout all of this as well, who would have had a similar rotation path. Team Pringles are safely here. It doesn't look like there are too many teams around them as well. And so let's go ahead and swap around and see where all of our other teams are holding up for this zone.
There's Cloud9. Hey, look at that. You ask and you shall receive. We got to look at Cloud9, who are very well stocked up here in Shrainyard, have a good position on the ring, and get to play edge as they've been more comfortable doing recently. Still looking to group up, but there aren't a whole lot of squads in their area last we checked the map, so maybe not really finding that much fruit for their labor, despite the fact that they do have a good position. Everybody else seems in a real hurry to get to zone.
Yeah, we already saw CLG moving in. I can't imagine Team Liquid are anywhere around here, so Cloud9 hovering around in Trainyard. It seems a little strange, but, you know, just slowing things down. Team Pringles, though, as they're making their way through Sorting Factory, they've got a team split up right now. 2 drop down to the low. The third finally joining behind them. Defensive bombardment has gone down. And right now, you do have Joey Cherish trying to go for that blanket. He does have an angle here on the right-hand side, getting some decent damage off, but they turn around onto him real quick and force him back. So Team Pringles miss out on an opportunity for some kill points here as CLG now are making their way into Sorting Factory. Oh my goodness. Lazarus getting lasered there as Hundreds goes down, and it looks like CLG should be able to pick this one up. Man is getting challenged outside by himself, but the EVA 8 shots are good enough. But oh no, the third party is here coming out from Lonely Fans with 2 knocks. It should be the full send as they are making their way on over. The fast res on to Vax. They don't have a gold bag behind it. Thermite down onto that door. They're trying to secure that thirst. Madness should get finished off, but they'll buy enough time for the third party to come out from Team Razor. And now they're going to try and force back Team Lonely Fans, but oh boy, what is going on here? Another team might be showing up behind them, and so Team Razor themselves have to back off, and they go back into the train tunnel here as things will slow down. We'll see if CLG can recover, though.
Yeah, waiting on that wisely enough. Team Razor backing off, but they may have forced some other folks to back off as well. Calfon showing up in the kill feed on 303 as we pan over to them. CLG look like they've cleaned up the kills that Team Razor left behind and got Madness back up as well, only losing Lou there.
Yeah, they'll have an opportunity to try and get him back in. Team Liquid, though, here on the eastern side of Sorting Factory, able to spot out Joey Cherish, take him down, and so they're down to, I believe it's just a solo here. They will thirst that as well, so we're now down to 17 squads, 49 players remaining. Never mind, it's not a solo, it's just going to be a duo then. Still alive for that team, as Liquid will be able to retake that high ground with the jump pad and still be able to hold here on the eastern side of the zone. The ring pulling down further towards launch site. So interesting pull to say the least, but it can of course continue to pull into Sorting Factory.
Well, I'm curious because where the ring ends up and where you're predicting that it will is going to matter a lot more for teams that are trying to play the zone as opposed to Liquid, who are the ones that get to sort of play this leisurely. They know where they stand in terms of at least the next ring and have plenty of time to plan out their moves until that final circle. Seems like they've spotted some prey.
Okay, figured out what happened to Hal. It was the Valkyrie bug coming out for them. Very unfortunate. Hate to see it here. Team Liquid, though, still playing here on the eastern edge. As you can see, they're starting to ping down Banana. Might make a move for that in just a moment. They will, of course, bide their time. They have plenty of time with another minute before the zone finishes closing. But it looks like instead, they're just going to go ahead and wrap around. Go towards the south side. On board with Nocturnal now, as he's just handing over some loot to his squad, and they are getting shot up from behind, so they have to keep moving here. We do have that jump pad being used as well. It was Cloud9 on their heels.
Ooh, Cloud9 is a scary team to have chasing you down, and Noct jumping forward, looking for any blood in the water, not finding anybody just yet, but instead they're going to make their way relatively uncontested down towards launch site, see if they can secure a position there, as there's lots of high ground to be had still available, it seems. Cloud9 playing a little bit wary, seeing shots or potentially folks up top.
Yeah, they've got their eyes set on the buildings to the south there, just on the eastern side of, northeast side of launch site. If they can get it, that could be an incredibly strong position to get some safe kill points throughout the mid game. But we are seeing here in game number 4, where with a lot on the line, with $10,000 on the line, a lot of action has slowed down just a bit here in zone number 3. We do have Liquid, though. They have finally made their push into the Banana building, forcing them back. Wherever that squad was holding just beforehand, you see Nocturnal controlling one side with that jump pad. Muffins will keep the back for his squad as well. And so things should slow down just a bit once again. This is one of those rings, you know, when you have so many buildings, the teams could just survive. And so heading into ring number 4, ring number 5, we'll still have a lot of teams alive. We'll find out, though, with the next pull of this ring. SSG, though, in a spot of trouble as their bubble has gone down. Another team just to the north of them now. As it goes down, they're going to go for full send onto this Gibraltar. They've already lost out on 2 Team Pop-Tarts. Just wipe them up, but they lose out on a 2. Farmer Lucas. It's going to be PK that dropped down onto them from that high ground position. And we saw them take very early on. It doesn't look like it was a full committal, so they do back away, giving them some time to try and go for that res. CLG, speaking of res, we're able to get the respawn onto, I believe it was Lou who was taken out, and so they get him back into the game, so CLG are back up as a full 3.
CLG working miracles, honestly, to get Lou back in the fight. Have only an uphill battle right now as they're getting sandwiched in Sorting Factory. Remember, they've got Liquid on the flank as well, ready for the third party, so need to play this patient, can't go for the aggressive pushes. While Madness watches the flank, and Lou gets chunked out, keeping an entire squad at bay.
Now with CLG up as a full 3, this is really, I want to say the longest they've survived in the last 3 games, so things are looking good for them. They got some PK, they're about to get some placement points as well. Now on board with Team Razor, not too far away from Team CLG right now, as Heck is just charging up that Evo shield with the charge rifle, even got a knock there. G2 finally getting in on some action, taking out RNG, getting some revenge from game number 1. Quite possibly here, if Pow has anything to say about it though, he will fall. And so G2 now are trying to survive as the third party comes in from NRG. And it looks like Gentrifying might be able to just force them back. Here's NRG, though, going for a second pass onto them. They got the knock onto Resulta, and it's just one left, I believe, for G2. Resulta getting thirsted off, and NRG looking for a strong game number 5 here to maintain their lead. Here's Team Liquid, though, going for a push at the bottom of Banana now, but Muffins is the first one to fall.
Watch Nocturnal now as he and Flanker are backing off, knowing that without that Gibraltar, they can't really contest the 3-man push. They don't have the utility, and instead are going to have to give up a lot of ground, potentially being pushed out of this building entirely. It seems like Razor are settling right now, holding their own position that they just claimed, and now have a lot of safety inside of the next ring. There's limited access to this room and a lot of ways for them to defend the choke points, especially with Crypto being able to scout out any potential threats and lay down that EMP.
Yeah, there was a third-party attempt there that was just shut down by an Arc Star. Beautiful one coming out from Tech, getting that stick, forcing that player back. And so Team Razor definitely happy to see this ring right now, along with the Pittsburg Knights, who really just hold up early on, just to the southwest. We're able to hold that position. Here's Team Intel about to get pushed by Cloud9. You can see whole Team Intel now stuck in the corner and back away, but they have to worry about Cloud9 just full sending it onto them. Here's 6, just making sure that the north is cleared. Thermite's out to try and greet the doors. 2 people have already pushed up now. It's Panders holding that ADS onto the door for now. Metro along with them. It's the full attention out from Team Intel onto Cloud9.
Now, remember that all of the squads that we sort of were happy about the positioning of at the beginning have already been knocked out, with Renegades most notably. It might continue with Intel, but 6 is landing the Mastiff shots there. Barely manages to survive, and instead, they're going to be able to heal up, be able to reset, holding these doors. Nobody going to be able to come through, instead making an aggressive push of their own there to take down C9.
Yeah, one member of C9 does escape throughout all of that, but that was just beautiful, predictive play coming out from 6. He sees the bubble go down, and he knows that he's going to be the focus. He throws a bubble of his own down, plays around it beautifully as the full 3-man push comes out on top of him. You can see the focus fire coming out from Cloud9 being dodged by 6 throughout all of that, and Team Intel really take advantage of it. But now they've got to start moving. The zone pulling to their west here. We'll see. I don't know if Metro has that jump pad set for him, or instead they're going to go for that Valkyrie rotate. Do they have an idea of where they want to go? And it looks like no one has spotted them going for this rotate, or no one's at least trying to focus them down. So it's going to be a free rotate out for Team Intel, as they're really utilizing that passive coming out from Valkyrie to see they've got a good LZ. And it looks like they will just be able to play on the other side of this building here. There's a team underneath them, though. They're going to have to drop down very shortly. Nade's coming out from that squad, but as they regroup, it looks like Team Intel might be safe. A little cheeky Thermite does connect, but no LOS, and Team Intel are safe on this rotate. What a beautiful play coming out from them.
If the utility doesn't take you down, this is the best spot that you could possibly be. And the only thing you really have to worry about is those grenades, because there's no angles on this squad. Intel cannot be pushed by a squad without fully committing to it. And nobody's willing to do that with 10 squads left. There's a lot of potential for somebody else to come in, capitalize on that. So this is securing you almost placement points as long as those grenades aren't landing. NRG, though, not only securing themselves placement points, but the kills as always. With Nathan down here on the ground, finding shots with the wingman, making it more as they go for the aggressive push there, but the bubble will stop them and buy a little bit of safety for this aggressive squad.
NRG with the scans out, knows there's their full 3-man on the other side. We'll back away from this one and play around the corner here. A lot of nades being expended from the other side on this one. It's going to be Charlotte Phoenix. We're trying to make the push up now, as you can see Greet taking his time to full heal, as I believe Flanker is that rat we saw on the left-hand side. We'll see how much longer he can survive for Team Liquid, as the bulk of the fighting right now in this ring is taking place on the low grounds. A lot of poking between Charlotte Phoenix along with NRG, but now up top, PK is getting pushed by Exit. You see the defensive bombardment going down as the full push is coming out from Exit. We'll see if anyone else takes advantage. CLG might be coming in for the third party as the trades do go out. Asura picks up 2 with a Prowler now. And it's going to come down to a 1v1 PK versus Exit. We'll see who wins out on that one.
Anders looks for a flanker there, doesn't find him. Instead, finds his kill of his own there. Knocking down what I believe to be Rambo. Actually, it was Panders who ended up getting that knock. And now playing a little bit more cautiously here. Actually looking for some kill placements himself. CLG, the ones on the defensive right now, pull out the Eve 8 for the play inside the bubble to get the knocks. Lou doing work here, clutches this out for CLG, keeps them in the game, but as they drop down to the low ground, they have no idea what awaits them. There are plenty of squads who are just waiting for these kills, but I'm Madness and Lou, they fly under the radar for now.
Yeah, CLG will have to fight this one out as a duo. They were not able to recover the banner of Vaxlon there, even if they had a mobile respawn beacon. I'm wondering if Nocturnal is still alive for Team Liquid. That would make the math correct. Didn't really see him on the kill feed as, oh boy, CLG trying to weather the storm, hoping that the nade spins and goes even further, but it looks like Lou should be falling soon, but no, he survives. Bubble out now as the full push comes out. It's going to be 303 trying to punish CLG, and they will be able to clean them up. So 303 take them out, but CLG do make it to the top 5 at the very least with some kill points now. 303 still trying to challenge PK. You can see how this is such a strong winning position for the Pittsburg Knights, but they have to deal with 303 and Team Intel, who could sneak in behind them at any moment.
That's the scary part, is that you can't actually leave your spot, so it starts to feel more like a cage than the high ground. Pittsburg, in a very, very tight one, do still have some ammo to work with, do still have great positioning, but how long can that keep you in the game? Because we've seen it be denied before, considering dropping down now. But still, looking out for Charlotte Phoenix on the bottom side there. For a little bit of a flank as 303, they push in right up next to Pittsburg Knights. Cheek to cheek are these two squads, just waiting for that ring to tick down, for the action to well and truly begin. Well, the Pittsburg Knights, they've got to be contemplating a retreat right now.
Yeah, you can see Team Intel getting a little bit antsy there on the ledge, and you can have, of course, I believe they still have the jump pad. They might have, they should have the Valkyrie ultimate as well, but that will leave them kind of vulnerable in the skies. Defensive bombardment does go down, forcing PK back at the very least. Charlotte Phoenix still playing there on the low ground right now as Team Intel are slowly creeping their way up. This might come down to a heal-off situation, but ultimately it's going to be Pittsburg Knights that are sitting pretty. They have the ultimate high ground. It'll be hard for teams to challenge them. And so it's just a matter of time as the slow ring closes in on all of our squads.
He is really willing to push this, but it's MST that are taking the brunt of the damage there. Charlotte Phoenix are going to fall, it looks like. Not just down quite yet, but as we pan over to Pittsburg Knights, they're getting flanked finally by 303, taking the kills, taking everything, but finally managing to clutch it out. Are Asura and Mercy popping back into the ring now. With the shield swap here, it will be the Pittsburg Knights who, with that high ground, secure themselves the Game 5 win.